Welcome to A Taste of AZ podcast. Before we get into today's episode, we want to announce that A Taste of AZ magazine will be switching to a paid subscription starting on January 1st, 2024. Until then, you can visit us at atasteofaz.com/subscribe and name your price for the entire 2024 magazine year. You'll get 4 issues for whatever price you decide, and they will each arrive at the beginning of the quarter. With that said, don't forget to subscribe to our email newsletter, and let's jump into today's episode.
We are at Chilte on Grand Avenue.
Yeah.
Dude, this place is cool.
Thanks.
I love this place, dude.
Right.
I popped in one day. You guys were featured in our latest issue of A Taste of AZ magazine.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Should have had one ready to show people, but
yeah.
I popped in, and I don't know if there was like some sort of business meeting or something going on here.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
People come kick it, do their little cafe stuff, little business stuff. So.
Yeah, and I mean, just the whole place, like the Egyptian hotel, and just the whole vibe here. There's something about Grand Avenue that just it's almost a different city.
Yeah.
Right?
It's got its own little feel.
It does.
Nice little pocket.
Yeah.
For sure.
So nice job choosing this location.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It kind of just came to us, you know. The opportunity was here. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, we also connected on. You're from Northeastern Ohio.
I am.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
I tell people that I'm from Youngstown, but I'm actually from East Palestine, which, you know, people would say, where's that?
Yeah.
Now they know it. That's where the chemical train blew up, right?
Yeah.
I always like to think that I was going to be the one to put East Palestine on the map, but the train beat me to it, man.
You're right behind it.
Yeah. But
you get the positive one. But yeah, I'm from, well, I say Cleveland because it's easier, but Painesville, right outside of Cleveland there. So
yeah. Nice. Born and raised?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
So,
And it's been
Painesville.
quite the adventure for you from what I've read in A Taste of AZ magazine. But so born and raised and well, Lawrence or LT?
I grew up as a LT.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm the third. So my dad's junior, his dad's senior.
Yeah.
And T's for the third. So
Okay. Well, LT, thanks for joining, man.
Pleasure.
Very
Thanks for
excited.
having me.
You guys are killing it. You guys are making waves for yourself. So
yeah,
nice work, man.
Doing our best. We're grinding.
Yeah.
So
Heck yeah.
headed the right way.
Your wife was saying you worked like a solid 20-hour days.
Oh yeah. Was doing it for other people. Was doing it for ourselves. So
Yeah.
feels a little better.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. Well, let's start with let's go back to Ohio, man. Like, were you into food and beverage growing up? Like, were you?
No, not really. I was sports.
Okay.
Sports ball. All the sports. I was playing them. That was my first passion.
Okay.
So I was all in on that and did that my whole 20 plus years.
Yeah.
So I was chasing that dream. Got dead set on the NFL at a super young age and just chased it down.
Yeah. So you were hyper focused. Like, how old were you? Do you think when you were like, all right, man, this is where I'm going?
It was probably like middle school.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Hyper focused. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the word. And now I'm hyper focused on this. On culinary. So.
Dude. Well, I'm excited to kind of see where that all turns, but. I have envy for people like you in the sense of, so it wasn't until I was 38 that I had a little inkling of the direction I was meant to go. So when people, I heard there was, I think it was a Kobe Bryant documentary where he talked about, like, probably about the same age, that he knew that he was going to be a pro basketball player. So everything that he did was focused towards that. Like, how does this relate to me being a pro basketball player?
And it's amazing when you find that.
Yeah.
Because it makes everything so easy.
Yeah.
Like, right, your focus is there. I eat this way. I don't drink. I do this. I go to bed at this time. This is who I associate. Like, it's so easy to just find that path.
For sure.
But then you may neglect so many other things as well. So.
As you get older and you get more freedoms and stuff, it's like, all right, well, this is cooler than this right now. So what did you play in football?
I played all over the field, but when I went to college, they switched me to safety. I played safety for a couple of years, and then I was able to get them to switch me back to receiver. Did kick returns, played all special teams. Super fun, loved it. And then when I got picked up by the Colts in 2015, I was receiver. Receiver, special teams guy. Short little stint in camp, got a little taste of the dream, and had to keep moving on then after that. So
where did you go to college?
Akron.
Akron. Okay. All right. You were Zip, man.
I'm a Zip.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm a Zip. LeBron.
Yeah.
All the good things. So
Nice, dude.
that was cool.
So what was it? So what was that experience like? Right, you get picked up by the Colts, right? Because I mean, that's a dream. That's a dream for so many athletes out there to make it to that pro level.
Yeah.
So you make it to the Colts, and
It was a whirlwind.
that's
But yeah, it was surreal. Like, just hanging out, and then all of a sudden you're getting a call like, hey, we're gonna fly you out. Come out.
Yeah.
Can you be here tomorrow? And they didn't have any flights. I actually drove overnight to get out there, but yeah, it was just a storm. Just go out there, move into the hotel, and you're calling agents and family, and there's tears and there's excitement, and there's what do we pack? What do I do with my dog?
Yeah.
It's super. It was pretty amazing feeling, for all your hard work to pay off. Especially for me, I was supposed to be in the draft, and then I didn't get drafted late rounds or anything, and that debacle and that heartache, and then a few months of training, and then you get that call is pretty fun, pretty awesome. So, yeah.
And then you get to the pros, right? So I played football in college. I went to Walsh University in Canton. I mean, that's Division III, right? But people always said like the and I played in the small league in northeastern Ohio, right? Up in Cleveland there was the bigger conferences and even in Youngstown, but people said when you go that next level, it was just everybody they were all state players, right? So you're up against these, but this was Walsh University versus like Xavier State or something, right? Not like Akron in Division I. So to go from Division I to then the pros, like was it just like, holy shit, these dudes are?
No, it's easier.
Really?
It was the easiest football I was playing in my life.
Really interesting.
Because everyone's. Can we cuss on here?
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah. They're fucking badass. They're pro. They're all the all-stars, right? Like, bro, Andrew Luck throwing me balls, like that's just easy as fuck. Yeah. That's just on point. Like, I don't have to worry about a quarterback or a weak line or like.
Sure.
Not as much, at least. You know, especially coming from Akron, it was tough being a smaller D1 school with not all the premier athletes all over the field. So it was cool. It was easy. Yeah. Running ones and twos, like easy fun.
That's awesome.
Just go get it,
Yeah.
The hardest part was being behind on plays, halfway through camp already, training with whatever team's in town.
Sure.
That's the hardest part. Like, shit, I don't know these plays. You're like, what's that mean? Just some new verbiage and getting all that translated.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Man, I couldn't imagine. Like, I always had a hard time of like I was a defensive lineman, and then I was a running back and leading up to like my sophomore year, because I was just bigger and faster. It's almost like a freak of nature, right? But then when it got time to be like, okay, what am I going to play in college? It was line, right? So there's not that many things that you have to remember, right? Like your shade is different or this or that. But for like receivers and quarterbacks, like dude, like it's just the play. Like if it's a 10-word play, I lost track after the second word, right?
But you only need to know the first two, and then you're good, right?
For
sure.
you, exactly. You're
just waiting for a call, and that's so fun because that's what the kitchen is too, right?
Yeah.
You're just waiting for that call for that ticket. What's my play on a cold line or on the hot line or on the dish pit? Drop me tortillas, chuck some oysters, right? So,
have you ever used that analogy before?
Oh, 100%.
I was gonna say that was perfect, man. I like to think our
my
podcast brought that out, but
I lead my whole life like that. It becomes a part of you, right?
For sure.
However long I was training hyperfocus, and that's how I operate in everything I do is the hyperfocus and being able to use those skills. That's some huge things I was able to take away from being a college athlete, making it to the pros, is that organization, that teamwork, that being able to apply those skills to real life now. So that's super cool.
I love it, dude. I have two daughters. My 9-year-old, she loves sports. She's like, she's very agile. My older daughter, not too much. She's not too into it, right? But my wife and I we both played team sports, and it was like, you got to play team sports. Like you learn so much. We're both big on the service industry too. That's right. You got to play team sports, and you got to work some sort of service job for a period of time. Yeah. Right. It gives you a good perspective on life.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Now you're blending the two of them together, man. Mm-hmm. I might send my daughters down here to work for you, and you can whip them into shape.
When I can afford more staff.
yeah, exactly. Well, they need volunteer hours.
Unpaid internship, yes. Send them. Send them
there we go.
Sure.
Awesome, man. I love it. Well, so you get picked up by the Colts, and it just doesn't work out. Is that what was the path like once you make that?
Yeah, I got picked up by the Colts. We're training with the Bears, I believe, and we had like 6. It was something crazy. Like 6 vets got hurt that week.
Yeah,
like 3 linemen, a couple linebackers. So new guys out.
Yeah.
So I was out with the new guys. We all got kicked out real quick out of camp, so they could open up some cap space and get some other guys in there that they needed to get in.
Gotcha.
Going into season. And then I chased it across the country. I was Akron, small D1, not great on the field stats, even though I was physically gifted, and not a great agent and not a great, coaches advocating for me. So I just kind of got lost in the shuffle, chased it around for a few years across the country. I was in Nebraska training, Colorado training. I was running 4.2s. We were getting it.
Hell yeah.
Ended up out in LA, training out there for a little bit. And then just when it was kind of time to hang up the cleats and move on to the next stage, we moved on over to Phoenix with one of my roommates from college who actually played at Walsh as well.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
So he played there.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, man, come out here, hang out with me for a bit, get on your feet. So came out here, and that's been here ever since. 6 years now.
Doing what were you? Had food come up at this point, like the culinary side of things?
Nope, not yet. It came up pretty quick when the cleats got hung up. I was just looking for what that next thing was. I was doing corporate office work. I was working in a tech industry, recruiting people for tech shit, Google, whatever.
Yeah.
Top, it was super cool learning all that coding and Python and all this script and Scrum leaders and all this weird shit that was new to me, but I really loved that techie stuff. It was so fun learning it.
Yeah.
But being cooped up in that office with those dynamics was just not for me at all.
Okay. Yeah.
So I got the fuck out of there.
Hell yeah.
But we applied for the Great Food Truck Race. So that's really where my introduction to food came in. Is we applied to the Great Food Truck Race, me and my teammate, his fiance at the time, my ex. I was like, let's build this team. Let's apply for here. We got to the finals of that casting.
Yeah.
That casting call. And we said, if we get in, we do it. If we don't get in, I was like, I'm going to go to culinary school if we don't get in.
Yeah.
Didn't get in. I went to culinary school here in Arizona at ACI in Scottsdale.
Nice.
And that was just the beginning of the career,
Why? Why did you say, why was it culinary?
I think just a lot of those parallels that we were just kind of touched on is the teamwork, the grind, it just made sense to me. I was kind of a natural, had a knack for it.
Yeah.
Growing up, I cooked with my family, cooked with my parents. We always had family dinner. So I was always around food.
Okay.
In that sense. And then when I started needing to train for football, I started cooking sports nutrition.
Yeah.
And my mom's cooking for, there's 4 of us. She's like, if you're doing side stuff that you need, you got to take care of it a little bit yourself, right?
Yeah.
Help me out here.
Yeah.
You're not going to eat what I made for everybody, then make your own chicken and whatever. So, or your dozen eggs you're eating every night.
Yeah.
So, that's how I really jumped into it. I was making pastries in high school, just out of home ec, just kind of had a knack for it. And then in college, I was always the teammate having cookouts, and before we go out drinking, let's all bring a side, bring a thing. I'll grill. So it was always there.
A friend like you back in the day.
Yeah. So it was always there, right?
Yeah.
And then it just was kind of a natural progression that applying for that food truck race, and then not getting it and driving me to that school.
Yeah.
Sealed the deal.
Nice, man. How was that experience? The culinary school?
You know what? And I'm not oh, you got to go to school.
Yeah.
If you're a fucking grinder, you hustle, you're smart, you're going to go work and shit, you can fucking learn it, Come work for me. I'll fucking show you.
Yeah.
You'll learn it. Don't be a punk, right? Yeah. Be respectful, be open-minded, come hustle. You could learn it without school, but what school did give me was that basics. And that's really what they do teach there, is giving you basics in all these different areas, and grabbing those basics, just like in college, grabbing those basics of organizational skills and starting to be an adult on your own really is what I took away mostly from that. And grabbing those basics from culinary school just made it so much easier for me to like pass people up in the kitchen, like so quick. Just, understanding a little bit of kitchen flow, understanding a little bit of menu, a little bit of all these things. I was able to cram 6 years of experience into like 3 years.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I was sleeping in parking lots, but still, like, I was able to do that.
Yeah.
Camp was the reason I could work 36 hours, sleep in a parking lot, work another 12, right? Because it's a 2-a-day for me, like whatever.
Sure.
I'm used to sleeping on floors with a towel.
Yeah.
Like it's cool. But so being able to apply that work ethic with those basics just crushed it. And like, I'm telling you, like I do honestly feel I did 6 or 7 years of work paying my dues in like 3 years.
Okay.
So that was super beneficial. So there's those like 2 ways you could approach it, I guess.
Yeah.
Get in there and fucking hustle, or go get your basics and still go fucking hustle.
Yeah, exactly. Regardless,
but it's a good tool. It was a good tool.
Yeah.
But if you can't afford it, then come hustle without it.
For sure.
So either way.
That's interesting because it's. I would think it would be. You got to be very humble to do that, right? In the sense of like, all right, I'm a good cook. I can do this. I can, organize people, this and that. Like to the essentials of those of the. What was the word you just said? The fundamentals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the fundamentals, right? It's like you have all these things in your arsenal to then be able to just put it all together, and almost in a way without even knowing that you're using each of those individual things.
Yeah.
It's part of your repertoire.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, it took me a while to even like, it takes it's in retrospect. Like, well, why am I doing this? What was that for? And it's about being open in the moment and saying, not knowing how it's going to pay off, but being there for it and being present for it and attacking it with hyper focus or being 100% in. And then, oh man, that's how I use that. Like, you're in a 2-a-day, you're like, yo, fuck this. I'm up at 3 a.m. Like, this is bullshit. Yeah. Right? Coach, I'm going to go run until I throw up right now. Like, and then now I'm just like, all right, whatever. We're rocking 22-hour days. Like, and
for sure.
It's great because I know I can do it, but sometimes I push people around me a little too hard. They're like, Chef's wild. I don't know why.
Dude, he's losing his mind in there, man.
What is he doing? He doesn't sleep or eat. It's like, but it's just ingrained in me, right? So
for sure.
It's cool when I get to see those things come back full circle. And I'm like, oh, that's what that was for. I get it.
Heck yeah,
so
dude.
Cool.
So you're going through culinary school. Was there any a certain path that you wanted to pursue, like pastry specifically, or
specifically pastry.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I loved it. I still do. I still do love it. I've been back in savory for the last few years, but my first thing when I was in culinary school, I got out of basics. I jumped into like a little hot dog shop, just get my feet wet, fry, salad, hot dogs, easy line stuff. And then I got to go to Elements at Camelback was my first like big kitchen, right?
Nice.
Like real chefs, real systems and things like that.
Is that Bo McMillan?
It was Bo Mac. Yeah. So I got in there and I wanted to be in pastries, and they were like, "No, bro, no." I was like, and they needed a pastry person. They're like, "No, you're going to start back in the cold line." And I was like, "All right,"
because you got to pay your dues, type of thing, or like,
I don't know why they just wouldn't let. But I really did want to do pastry for the start of my career, but they threw me back there. I got to learn so much in that kitchen. It was super fun. Met a whole bunch of awesome people. Just worked my way up from shucking oysters to cold line to, come up on hotline. Let's do events. Let's do this. And, there's no more room for you to grow. And they sent me out to go work for Chef Strata at the Foundry.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
It was super cool.
That's a pretty great lineup of Alex Strata. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
So Bo Mac to Alex Strata.
Yep.
Like those are some great mentors.
Yeah. I mean, over at Foundry with Strata, he was in there every single day. He just came back from Vegas, I believe, at that time. So he was in there every single day. I got to learn, his style of like Mediterranean, Southwestern cuisine, and a lot of veggies and a lot of, new prep techniques. And I was working breakfast line. I got to do a lot and learn a lot from him as well. So it was really super, super cool.
Yeah. Where do you go from there? Like because you keep going higher and higher with those.
After that, when it's kind of time to take the next step, I took a little bit of time off, but then Renee from Bacanora, we met in the Elements kitchen.
Okay.
So it was Renee was like a sous chef. Roberto, his cousin was he was on grill. I was in the back, and we just all kind of clicked up and really connected. And I remember he pulled me aside in the walk-in one day, and he's like, hey, as we grow, like whatever my next thing is, like I'm gonna come find you, right? Like we're gonna go do it. So when I got out of Foundry, he actually was hitting me up like, hey, let's go open Ghost Ranch.
Yeah.
You know, I got this thing, come do it with me. So that's when I got my first chef title, actually.
Okay.
So he put me on as sous chef under there. So it was me, him, Roberto, and then myself.
Nice.
So I got to jump in there and really just be in there grinding in the bones of the kitchen, just helping build out everything. And they did all the menu development and stuff and conceptualize stuff. And I got to go in and start learning systems and management and, you know, cooking Sonoran style Mexican food. I got to learn all that stuff from chefs. So it was a really pretty cool transition that really probably was like, man, this Mexican food really resonates with me. I understand that. And that's also how I met my fiance. So,
gotcha. Okay.
So
your fiance. Okay. I called her your wife a couple times, but
we're getting married in like 10 days.
Oh, dude,
15 days.
Shit.
Yeah.
Congrats, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks for making the time, dude. So close to the wedding and stuff to be on the podcast.
I'm scrambling, dude. trying to get everything set for when I leave. Cause once I'm gone, I can't do anything, right?
Yeah. That's a big test for you right there, man.
I can maybe punch in some orders like that. That's it. So getting the team prepped up, supported up, make sure they're confident to hold it down through it's chilled summer. So
yeah,
that'll be cool.
So so you met her at, what was your wife's or fiance's name again?
Aseret.
Yeah. You met her at Ghost Ranch?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was just telling this story this morning, standing in that pond in that field.
Yeah, which we got to hear that story at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, her sister and my GM were friends. She's like her Zumba instructor, and they were friends. And her sister saw me in the restaurant. I was like taking out trash, you know. I'll do that grunt work. I'm like walking a bag of trash. She's like, him. Yeah, that's the one. I see him in the family. So,
you had your sleeves up and like you were
I'm sure. I was probably down 15 pounds, so I was looking good, you know.
Dude, I'll take the trash.
Yeah. So, they set it up. Those two put us together, and then we met up a couple times, and then she ended up moving out here from LA, and you know, just never left.
Yeah. Well, she said that she never even thought like food and beverage was and even near where she thought she was going to be going.
Oh no, not at all. Yeah. She's still trying to like grasp what this industry is. She's like, this is wild.
Yeah.
You know, especially because when we started, she quit corporate and like we just started ourselves in the apartment.
Okay.
Like, you know, she didn't know anything about food and beverage, maybe other than what I've told her through hanging out or whatever, watching me be a chef. But she was in LA for so much of that time. She really didn't understand the lifestyle or how hyper-focused I was on it. Yeah. So then when I was like, yo, like, you quit your job, come chop onions with me, grab that cooler, like, you know. And she was all in, so that's when we started the pop-up.
Okay.
And
then
at
Ghost Ranch when this kind of...
No, that was right into pandemic. So pandemic, everything's shutting down.
Yeah.
You know, we're out of work. And I always wanted to do my own thing. Anyways, that's why I was grinding like that, because I wanted my own shit. So I was like, I'm going to get as many tools as I can. I was sous chefing at Ghost. I was exec pastry chef at Tempe Public. I was bartending. I was doing work trying to learn admin and AGM stuff and serving. So I was just trying to grab as many tools as I could to do my own thing. And it just, everything kind of closing down pushed me into that.
Sure.
It was like, there's no other option. How do we survive? What do we do? And that's when we conceptualized Chilte and started the pop-ups. Yeah. And then that's how I suckered her into it.
Yeah.
So I got her for a good 3-year ride, and I'm really stoked and proud to have gotten her out of the restaurant now, and we have a strong team that gets to fill that, and we get to support them with work, and I get to give her sanity back, and she can go back into marketing, which she really loves, and I can support her in that passion and that endeavor. So it's really cool.
That was awesome of her to take that on as well, right? To be like, all right, I gotcha. You know, there's a shelf life to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, how long am I going to be doing this? But dude, that's awesome. So Ghost Ranch was that really opened your eyes up to the Mexican food, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it was really a lot of Sonoran based stuff. I mean, that's Renee's thing. Yeah. Which is great, but I just really understood those flavors just kind of naturally, like spice and balancing the citrus and the spice and finding bold flavors. And it just was like soul food of the Southwest. Like, it just made sense to me, you know, like finding parallels of things I grew up eating that were like, oh, that is that and that is that, and cross-cultural thing, you know, that thread that connects all of it. So that one just really sat with me. And then I was like, I want to do fancy fine dining and on the street, and that's how we threw it into Chilte. And then Aseret she's 100% Mexican from Sinaloa. So then there's like, there's a connection there. And now I'm eating with her family. Now I'm getting more and more invested in learning about the culture and all that type of stuff. So it really just took hold.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, coming from Northeastern Ohio, when I moved here, I moved here in '07. I just fell in love with that Sonoran culture. Like it wasn't intentional in the sense of like I feel like I feel when I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I just vibed with it. Right? There's just something about the culture here, the Mexican culture and the Hispanic culture that just I love it. Yeah. I mean, the food is fantastic too, right?
I mean, that's a great start.
Yeah.
And that's what we love about food. It's that gateway to a connection, a conversation. I'm marrying a Mexican. I never would have thought that in my life, right?
Sure. Yeah.
A Mexican woman. So just because I wasn't around them a lot.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. It's beautiful, and it's such a welcoming culture. Every time we travel and just home and here in the States and every household, and it's super welcoming, and that's what makes it so easy for all of us to fall in love with it.
For sure.
So
yeah. Well, dude, let's get a quick break for a message here, and we'll be right back.
We want to announce that A Taste of AZ magazine will be switching to a paid subscription starting on January 1st, 2024. Until then, you can visit us at atasteofaz.com/subscribe and name your price for the entire 2024 magazine year. You'll get 4 issues for whatever price you decide, and they will each arrive at the beginning of the quarter.
All right, so we're back. Dude, that was a fantastic, you said a triple cortado?
That was probably a quad, yeah.
Nice, dude. Yeah. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
That was really good. So this is Chilte, right? So this started, the beginnings of this started during the pandemic. Is that, during lockdown?
During lockdown, yep. I mean, just started LLC, just started it. Started the social media and Aseret's marketing, so she took off on that marketing journey and really made it pop. She's always in tune with what's trendy, what's next, what's how do we differentiate ourselves, how do we speak to who we are through our food, our imagery, our videos, our whatever. And it's hard because I will just bounce it all over the place. I'll be like, new colors next month, new script for that menu. I'm cooking Asian inspired this menu, it's hard to keep up, but just finding that balance and consistency has been great. But pandemic really, it was a driving factor. Puts you in that position of like, we got to survive. So let's do it. Which it was a blessing. I had to do open air markets, and we figured out a way to attack that and go to breweries. And eventually we got to start doing like some caterings, which was like really a huge financial help for the business. You do a catering, right? You have a better profit margin. So really we're able to capture those audiences and get in tune with those communities, and it worked out really well. So far.
Well, right. It's probably been a long 3 years, right? It was 4 years since
4,
Chilte. But you guys have only been in this spot for
6 months.
6 months. Yeah.
We've been open for 6 months.
Yeah.
We've been on the project for 2 years now.
Sure.
Yeah. Year and a half delay.
Dang.
That was super challenging.
So you guys are going through the pandemic. You're doing like farmers markets. Is that what you're saying? Mm-hmm. And how do you pick a menu for something like that?
Well, I was crazy. I was doing new menus every week, and we weren't selling anything because nobody knew who we were or what we were doing. Me and a tortilla press and a grill, and a tent. So we had a lot of our first few weeks like no sales, and just when you get like, man, it's time to move on, maybe it starts clicking, right? So we were just picking menus, testing in the apartment, and I was just picking stuff that we like to eat. That was fun. We really started really attacking like what's just hip or trendy and cool. Like we were doing birria before it was cool and like super mainstream, and obviously people have been doing it forever all over. But like we did our own little rendition and wanted bring my little fine dining tweaks to it, or ingredients like squid ink tortillas, and how are we doing our birria? That's a little different. We're putting a little green chili in there, or, we're fire roasting it, and just different little things, just to make it fun and tweak them out, or things that she grew up eating on the streets, or things that we experienced in Mexico. That's always a big driver, is things we grew up eating or things that we experience when we travel.
Sure.
So those are always our 2 key drivers into what our menus are, starting on the streets and still what we do here.
Yeah. So it's when did it start to catch, right? Like, because you have those weeks of, like, shit, dude, nobody came. Like, come on, like, we got all this stuff left, and then you have a couple of those, right? You've got to have that thick skin to. So when did things start to kind of click and move forward?
You know what? I mean, it was at least a month and a half.
Okay.
Which doesn't seem like a long time, but it's a long time when you're doing all that work and you're not making any money and you're legit making no sales or one sale.
Because in that sense, you're losing money, right?
You're losing money.
It's not that you're not making money. You're losing.
You're losing money.
Yeah.
You're losing time. You're losing sleep.
Yeah.
Some of the more valuable ones, right?
Yeah.
We can't get the sleep and the time back. So.
Yeah.
But about a month and a half probably before we at least started to see an upturn where we're like, okay, we can make this ride. And we had a couple people from other markets that were like, oh, who are they? And they tried it and posted us a little bit and just started to get a little bit of traction. And I mean, even now, 6 months in here, I feel like we're just starting to really find our traction because it's a new market, it's a new demographic, it's a new style of service, right? Different expectations for our clientele. Like, it's still, it feels like that again, like the start of the pop-up in summer. Yeah. It's like, holy shit, dude, I'm losing money every week. We're not paying ourselves because we have to make sure our employees, like, how do we find hours for them? Like, a whole bunch of new challenges, but I feel like we're starting to find that footing again. It feels exactly like that kind of second month of that pop-up. Like, we're finding that traction. We're finding who we are again. People are finding who we are again. So I'm really excited to see where we're gonna go here.
You got to. I was telling Aseret, you got to have a lot of money or a lot of patience, right?
Yeah.
So most of us have a lot of patience, or more patience than we thought we had.
I got more patience than money.
Exactly, way more.
I don't know which one's a lot, but I got more of this.
Can I exchange this anywhere? What's the exchange rate, right? But once we were talking about this before we started recording, is this is a passion fueled industry, right? Like so many people.
Soul is the driver.
Yeah, it really is.
And when that gets lost, it's lost everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Your team fucking sucks. Your team hates you. Your team hates what they're doing and what they're serving. Your plates fucking suck, right? That soul and that passion is the driver. It keeps you going, keeps you alive, keeps you on to the next one, keeps that ambition, that shit hot,
Yeah. Yep.
So
that's why That's why I fell in love with. So it all started for me with craft beer, with a beer podcast, because I found that it was 9 out of 10 brewery owners they quit this corporate gig in IT or sales or whatever to start what they love to do. Yeah. And then as we expanded into food, I'm like, oh, this is food and beverage across the board. Whether it's obviously you got the big companies and stuff, but most are like you that are just this is it's 24/7 stress, and it's not this big, it's not the Buffalo Wild Wings of just
right,
come and do your. I don't know where I was going with that, but I had to bring up a Buffalo Wild Wings reference.
Are they sponsoring you?
They should be. Shit, they should be. That's where I met my wife, actually.
Oh,
yeah, my wife moved here from Minnesota in 2006. I moved here in 2007, and my first job here was at Buffalo Wild Wings, and she had worked there previously, the one over in Goodyear. That's how we met. So people are like, where'd you guys meet? I'm like, Buffalo Wild Wings.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
And that's the passion. That's the love. It's not just what's going on the plate. Is who we are, who our communities are. And I met my fiance, soon to be wife, in restaurants. Your wife in restaurants. My parents met in restaurants. As working. So
For
it's
sure.
just that's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool
cool people, man. Industry people are pretty cool. I also don't go out past 10 o'clock, so I don't experience that side of the industry anymore.
That's a rough side.
It's a rough side.
Sometimes things get more cool. Sometimes they get less cool.
For sure. and it could get just like that too. A split second. It's like, oh shit, man. Well, I gotta go.
Yeah, it's trouble.
So what is Chilte? Like, how would you explain? Like, you're just talking with somebody at an airport. And you're like, I own a restaurant.
I need that elevator pitch. You want the elevator?
It can be longer. It can be longer, like an elevator to the top of the Empire State Building. So we got like 5 minutes.
I'm thinking I I always struggle on this one because I'm like I said, like I'll just like tweak the brand out, like who we are. But I mean, really, our driver is like, it's Mexican food, like always inspired Latin food, and we're just always trying to find that common thread to other cultures, other things we grew up with, and just really sharing that, having fun, you know, not trying to take it too seriously. Yeah. And just a little different vibe for the industry. Sure. Just throughout our whole team and, you know, our space and everything. It's just a little bit different. Not trying to be, it just is who we are. Like, we just want to be authentically us and genuine to you, you know?
I love how the food was just a piece of that, right? Mm-hmm. You described the whole thing, and it's the whole vibe of Chilte. It's not just like, oh, it's this, you know, what's here on the plate. That's obviously a part of it, but I think that's what makes places like this so special. It's the whole package, you know. Because you come in here, dude. I mean, I had to set up. I don't know how Luke, my business partner, he's the one that edits it. He's like, dude, what's with all that light in the back?
Like, all that blue light. Oh, you're backlit.
So I had to get it though, man, because just the feeling in here is it's got something different to it, and also being attached to this hotel, which I don't know much about, but it just looks like a really cool ass hotel.
It's funky, you know. We're on a little not up and coming side. I guess we are on the up and coming side of Grand. Yeah. But it's this cool little funky motel, you know. Like, they try to keep a lot of the original touches of it. Like, the pool is the same pool that's over there. Okay. These banners that are colored around are the same colors that were here. Yeah. This was always a lobby to check in. Okay. Gotcha. So there's a lot of cool things that they can try to preserve the history on in the space. Yeah. And I mean, we have a live stage. We have a big ass bar out there. Nice. So it's just gonna be fun, funky little venue. Yeah. Once again, like, we're trying to find our community and get people here, but I think once it clicks, it'll be fun. It's a very welcoming space, you know, for anybody, everyone. Yeah, I dig it. It's beautiful. Who designed it? Like, who did this design? So in here, me. You? Yeah, me. Nice work, man. Majority me, like literally caulking and all that stuff, and then our team who we had on staff, and then we hit the delay, helped with, you know, some crafty projects along the way. But yeah, pretty much me. Like like this is your brainchild and all this. Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Yeah. I guess my other career path, if I could have made it happen, would have been like interior design. Okay. Like, that sounds so, or architecture, something like along those lines. Sure. Super fun. Sounds like I just like, I don't know, crafty shit. Yeah, so, dude, it's impressive. Artsy, man. Whatever is, you know, creative. So say you like to create. You seem like somebody just likes that. You like to create. That's great, man. Like, graphic design, I do a little bit. I'm not super good at any of it. Yeah. I'm super good at the food stuff, you know. So like, there you go. I get to create there, and like, I'm super good and confident there. All this other stuff takes me forever because I have to like learn it and practice it and fuck it up 5 times, and then be like, oh, that's the one. Oh, I spent too much money on that one. Yeah. Or it's broken now. So. But you're not afraid to try. Can't be. You gotta try for sure. I'm never afraid to fail. This shit fucking fails. All right. Yeah. What I learned, I'm going to the next thing. Like, we'll find a way to survive. Yeah. And that fear of failing, that'll fuck your whole shit. Like, dude, you can't have that. Well, I mean, have that. It's, you know, where we grew up, that was a big, to me, I don't, maybe it was just the community I was in, but that was a big, you know, don't fail at any cost, right? Mm-hmm. Take the safe route, do this, work at the Chevy assembly line for 60 years, screwing that bolt into the bottom of the car. Yeah. You know what your pay is going to be. And I was like, fuck that shit. I know. That is not. Sometimes that sounds all right. It does. A little consistency, a little. Oh, I know what I'm doing. It's 4:00. I have to leave. Yeah. Like, yes. Yeah. No, there is parts of me sometimes like, damn. I could have screwed a bolt into a Ford Focus for 60 years. I'm like, no way. Yeah. But no, can't be afraid to fail, man. No. Absolutely not. Well, so going from, you know, struggling with the pop-up as far as, you know, first month and a half not making any sales, and then getting traction, and then, you know, opening up this place and just continually making a name for yourself, and then to get the recognition, right? Because you guys have gotten recognized a lot recently, right? Like, you were named like one of the top new restaurants in the country or something like that, right? Yeah. I don't follow it enough. I'm like, oh shit, we're booked out. What happened? Yeah. You know, like, Aseret does a lot of the marketing stuff, but yeah, I mean, we've grabbed some attention, which has been great. You know, it comes in waves. You get a little attention, you get booked out for a little bit, and then it kind of fizzles.
Sure.
So we're waiting for that next pop.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's nice. It's good to get that validation along the way.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we need it. Not to be egotistical, you need it for you. You need it for your business. Yeah. We need it for our team morale, right? So it's always a pleasure and honor to get some recognitions and awards. How do
you take that recognition and not, like, you know, make your head so big that you just float away, right?
I don't know, float away to a nap, just like exactly. For a little bit, but
reward yourself with a 30-minute nap every time you get national recognition.
Gonna need it.
I
honestly don't really know. It's just, I don't know.
You love the process, right? You love it's like it's sports, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't seem like a person that was hated practice and hated like.
Oh fuck no! I love practice. You gotta practice hard as shit. You know? Like
exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe because I've been so team oriented my whole life. I've never been a me guy. I mean, on occasion, throw me the fucking ball because I know I'm the best. But you know, like. You know why I'm saying that? It's for the team. It's not so I can be in the magazine next fucking tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we can fucking win this fucking game. You know what I mean? Like, So I think that's probably just what kind of keeps me a little bit more tame. At least for now. I always kind of joke with my team. I'm like, guys, it's for now, and then I'm gonna blow up and sell out, and then I'll find myself again. That's okay.
That's right.
Like I'm just like, that's just maybe not. I don't know, but no, I don't know. Just be chill and just be me. You know, I'm pretty even keeled dude, so you know, it takes a lot to get me mad. It probably takes me a lot for me to. I don't want to lose myself. You know, even when I kind of lose myself on the plates when we first started opening this, it just felt off. You know, it was nice to get back in the kitchen and ground myself and find who we are again. So kind of just keeping that balance, that personal balance, is just kind of how I operate.
Sure. Yeah. I dig it, man. So this is the path for you. Like you're like when all's said and done, when you're sitting on Lake Erie, retired, will that whole career of yours have been food, you think?
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would like to grow into a restaurant group, you know, maybe like 5 restaurants max.
Okay.
I know to do that, I can't always be chef online, chef in the, right? I have to be an entrepreneur. I have to be a business person. I have to find passive streams of income. I have to find other avenues, retail, real estate, other things like that, right? I really want to just continue to be an entrepreneur, an owner. So I really feel like this is the foundation, the base. I don't know what's next.
Sure.
Could it be 2 more restaurant concepts? Great.
Yeah.
Right? Could it be multifamily, whatever the fuck? And I have a new chef in here who's fucking rocking this shit, and they get to make a name for themselves, right? I want to build teams up. Yeah. I don't have to be here every day. It doesn't have to be my name on fucking everything. It does to start, because that's what it is for the base, for the foundation. Yeah. I am the brand right now. But I do want to be able to pass that torch on to somebody who comes in here and shows that they want it, deserve it, and then the next thing, find someone else who wants it, deserves it, works for it. Yeah. Right? Just be a little restaurant group. Go find some other things to do.
I dig it, man.
Always be able to come back. Like, it's my restaurant. I won't come back and do a special. I'll come back and do a special. You know what I mean? But I just, I don't know where it's all gonna go. I'm pretty open. I like to attack the next opportunity, and as I'm learning more and more and more, it's gonna be different opportunities that are gonna be presented. So finding that, I don't care where it's at.
So it sounds like freedom of kind of doing what you want to do, right? Which is a hard thing to do, right? Because especially as an entrepreneur, you got the freedom to do whatever you want to do, but are you going to do what you need to do, right?
But you got to do it, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly.
And I think that's never going to go away. I like to work, but I want to be able to expand outside of just work. Yeah. Like I don't do anything else. I'm here, I work, I wake up, I'm on the toilet working, I'm eating, working, I'm not eating. Yeah. I'm not going to the gym, right? I'm missing those things. I'm not giving my fiance the emotional connection that she needs because I'm just working. Yeah. I know we can do it for a short amount of time, but it's realistically, that's not something I want to do forever.
Sure.
I want to find somebody else who is willing to make that sacrifice for 5 years, and then they can, offload some of that to the next person. That's how we build our shit.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Well, until then, if somebody comes into Chilte, what are some of the options they have? Because I see everything from there's coffee, cocktails, food. Like, what are some of the highlights?
We got a lot going on. Yeah, I was gonna say we got spread out all over the place, and we're finding who we are again. But like every single day right now we have coffee, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Coffee, local pastries, local coffees. Like usually we got Xanadu or Provision for our beans.
Nice.
Seuss pastries, Sugarloaf Lane, a couple other like little pastry people around.
Okay.
That pop in and do stuff. So that's like our daily. Throw in a savory item here and there, a quiche or a ham and Swiss or something like that. We have the hotel that's happening. So there's always happenings at the hotel. There's live venue, there's comedy, there's just different happenings at there. And then we have dinner service. We're going to drop our new like fall season, our in-season, cool season menu when I get back from my wedding.
Okay.
So end of September. But yeah, it's inspired by tradition in our travels, and it's always going to have like a Mexican base. So, just fun plates, cool shit, tamales, chicken hearts, freaking, pork chops, wood fire.
Ooh,
mix it up, new burger, new desserts. I love to do a little pastry flex and, bring that creative back. So we do that Tuesday through Saturdays.
Nice, man. Nice. And where do people find you? Like just chilte.com?
Yeah, Chilte PHX. Oh, this is a little plug portion. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, we also do bomb-ass crafty cocktails, like legit cocktails.
Yeah.
We try to rock some local spirits. We have we have mezcal, sotol, bacanoras, a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah, nice.
Really cool cocktails. Little reach-in, beers. We like to do the local things, the crafty things. So really fun. And then, you can find us on social medias is our big one.
Okay.
So Chilte PHX. And then same for the website, chiltephx.com.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah, that's what you can see what's happening, sign up for our thing. We always have collabs going on. We always did collabs in the markets, in the streets. Okay. So we're finally at a place that we can do them here at Chilte. We've done 3 so far. They've been an absolute blast. Honored to reconnect with some of our friends around town and some new faces. Yeah. So we're going to keep those rocking too, usually like Sundays.
Nice.
That's why I was in the pond this morning.
I was going to say, I'm not going to let you go without talking about the pond.
I know you want to come back to it. I'm in here with wet boat shoes and socks right now up to my calves, squashing around. But no, we were out in Gilbert looking to do Gilbert was one of our home base markets. Okay. So it's going to be fun to get back out there and see our people out there in Gilbert. But doing a pop-up with a local crew called Masa Amable, which is like most gentle. So it's going to be like a wood-fired pop-up. So we were out there this morning on a farm. There's ducks floating, like this field flooded where we're doing it, and there's like ducks floating around, and we're like squashing around, like, all right, table's here, just planning it out. So it's going to be really fun. Nice. It's going to be a big event. It's like their 1-year anniversary, I think. So we're going to try to do like 70 people, and we're going to have the vinyl spinning, and it's going to be fun. We're going to rip some things off the grill. It's going to be cool.
Hell
it's
yeah,
really
dude.
Cool.
I love it, man. I love seeing what you guys are doing. We were very honored to have you featured in one of our, I think it was our latest issue.
Likewise. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was great sitting down with you, dude.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to connect.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
And, the cortado fueled me through that whole thing. So
it's a quad.
Feeling good, man.
I'm going to have another one. I'm like 8 shots deep on the day.
I love it. All right, dude. Thanks, man. I appreciate you taking the time. And make sure you guys come down and check out Chilte.
Check us out.